If these characters died, I would not mind at all from Edition. Starting off with number 1, we have Ellis. Now, he hasn't done anything wrong, but he is super annoying, and I think he gets in the way sometime. I also hate that we've spent so much time in this series focused on him and Fatima, and I don't really feel like it's added anything to the TV show. However, now that Fatima is pregnant, that's a bit more interesting. But before that point, these two characters were just absolutely boring, and they don't add anything. I hate to say it, but the next character on the list that I wouldn't mind if they died or not is Fatima. Now, this has nothing to do with her personality. I think she's got really cool vibes, but I think we just spend too much time with her and Ellis, and I don't think the payoff is there. However, now that she's pregnant, I definitely think that makes her character more interesting, and I look forward to seeing whatever her baby comes out being. Next character on my list is Jim, and Jim and his family have been getting on my nerves for the last 3 seasons. I think there has been more shit happening in Fromland, Fromville, since they've gotten there than any other character combined. The amount of lives people have spent just going to rescue them and their futile attempts to do whatever it is they want to do has just been astronomical. And he's an absentee father, and I think that puts an undue pressure on Julie, who has straight up told him, "Dad, watch your son." And that leads me to my next character, and that's Julie. Now, in season 1 and 2, I did not care if Julie lived or died, but in this season, I want her to stick around a bit more. However, I still find myself a bit frustrated with her, but I'm with her. Hey, Jim, Tabitha, watch your freaking kids. It's not on me to watch Ethan. But every time I watch this TV show, I have to remind myself that Julie, Ethan, Sarah, they are all children or really, really young. So this landscape can bring out the worst in people, and it forces you to do and experience things that you wouldn't otherwise have to do. So I actually have no smoke for Julie this season, and I do think that if she wasn't around, that Ethan would really be by himself, because it's not like his parents are there. Now, the 5th character on my list might be controversial, but it's Ethan. Ethan has been getting on my nerves this season in a way he didn't do in seasons 1 and 2. And now that he's older, and maybe he just appears to be a little bit older, I just don't have the tolerance for some of the things he's doing and saying that I would have had in the earlier seasons. At this point, he's been there long enough to know what's going on. He knows how dangerous it is. And I think the amount of lives he's risked doing things that are just absolutely reckless, i.e. running outside after explicitly being told to stay inside, that is starting to frustrate me, especially when things are becoming so dire. And of all of the characters in From, he is well aware of this because he's the closest with Victor. Now, does he comprehend it to the full extent? Obviously not. He's a child, but he knows better. And that's what I'm getting at. And he's getting on my nerves because he's starting to become really dangerous in the sense that he's costing people's lives, or at least he could cost their lives. It's just a risk to have to go and get him every time he runs off or decides to help. Just really annoying. Now, the 6th character on my list is Tabitha. Again, we probably could have just rolled up the whole Matthews family into one category, but I could not stand her up until the last part of season 2. Now, as she started to take on more risk, I started to like her more because I like a girl who takes risk, and Tabitha started to do that. Tabitha was doing what needed to be done, and her and Jim's dynamic, I don't know what's going on with that, but the reality is I was not mad at her and Jade. I kind of want to see what happens with that. I think they're very similar in that way. Jim is very resistant to certain things. He gives up a little bit too easy, in my opinion. Tabitha and Jade, they're risk takers, they're analyzers, they're observers. They want to know what's going on, and they want to know how to get out of here. And I like that they're taking the liberties to do that. Now, did she lose me a bit in this most recent episode? Well, actually not the most recent, but the episode before this most recent one. Yes, I did not like how skittish she was acting, and of all the things she's experienced so far in the past 2 seasons, 3 seasons, I cannot believe her finding a bracelet in Henry's car was the thing that set her off. Anyways, that was annoying, but I still don't want her to die, even though, again, the Matthews family is costing lives as usual. Now, the 7th character on my list is Sarah, and I actually don't have much smoke for her this season. I think she's redeemed herself in my book, so I'm gonna let it slide. But those first 2 seasons, yeah, she needed to be out of there. They needed to get rid of her. And the fact that Boyd didn't put her in the box still doesn't sit right with me, but I'm gonna let it slide because she serves a better purpose, a greater purpose, in my opinion. Her being able to talk to and communicate with whatever those things are is very important. So I do want to see Sarah live, and I hope she's able to fix her ornaments. Now this character on the list, Randall. This is a character that I was really conflicted about because in the first 2 seasons, I wanted his ass out of there. I don't think he was a team player. I didn't like his personality. I felt like he had a chip on his shoulder, and I'm sure he did. That's how you end up in Fromland. You have to have something going on, and maybe that caused the attitude shift. But Upon this last episode or two of From, and just seeing how he was willing to provide Boyd with the information to capture one of these things and to help the Matthews family, again, who cost lives, inevitably, and all the time, I just didn't like how Boyd left him for dead, right? If he dies on his own accord by doing something stupid and reckless by himself, that's fine. But if you leave a man out there to fend for himself after he tries to help your ass, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. And that leads us to the final character. The last character on my list is Boyd. And up until this point, I didn't want him to die. I think he needed to stay alive. But after he left Randall for dead, I couldn't look at him the same. This man tried to help you and you left him. If I can't count on you, the sheriff of all of the people in the town, to come to my defense, I don't know if I can trust you. And I also think Boyd is slipping in a way that earlier seasons of Boyd would never have slipped. So I think this is just kind of my conflict. Obviously, I still don't want him dead, but between him letting Sarah slide for killing Kenny's father and then him getting, the village caught up trying to wrangle those cows in, yeah, all of this is just starting to weigh on me. Anyways, leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in my next video.